good party. That's a sick thing, you know. It's just sick there. I'm telling you, they should bomb Detroit. And then you go 10 minutes outside of Detroit, right to...
Beautiful, huh?
Unbelievable.
Richest places in the world.
Grosse Pointe is beautiful.
Richest real estate.
And it's like, there's like a
How
line.
do they exist with this little pocket...
I don't know.
Of embarrassment and shame right there.
I don't know.
I'm lost.
I'm lost.
And no one can do anything about this.
I don't know.
Now,
you know,
I
if
would
you blew
venture to say that these people must have all been of the same race.
Don't bring race into it. I can't imagine.
What
it's not a
race
big deal.
was they?
If it had been white guys who did it to a black woman, all hell would be breaking loose. It was a bunch of brothers who did it to
a black woman.
Yeah, well, it's Detroit. There's no white people in Detroit. There's white people in Grosse Pointe. There's white people in Southfield. There's in Plainfield. There's all kinds of white people. But in downtown Detroit, that is, if you're white, you're Tarzan. You're going into the deepest, darkest jungle.
But no, you won't find Al Sharpton or anybody making a big deal about this.
Well, there's no fun there. But this is a disgrace. And if they bombed Detroit, it would do $6 worth of damage. Nobody would even miss it. I'm not kidding. I'm telling you. And if you see a white person in Detroit,
he's running.
It's a lost Canadian. They're right over the board. They really are. It's right over the little bridge there. Right? You know what I'm talking about.
That's amazing.
No, if this had been a racial incident, oh boy. If this had been white guys who did this to a black woman, that would be it. All of Detroit would be down today.
Oh, the country would be at a standstill.
But those 3 guys who did it will probably be protected by their own community.
Well, they are supposed to, there's been a long investigation. They're supposed to be charged today. They're moving very cautiously on this.
Right. So they beat her head in with a tire iron. And they still wanted to see her naked.
It sounds
That's
like...
guys. That's not black or white. That's just guys.
Yes.
That's guys.
They were just hitting... it's just very strange. Strange.
Gilbert, let's pretend you're a black woman in Detroit, and I have a tire iron. I'm going to beat you over the head. I want to see you naked.
Uh-huh.
And we'll see what happens. They beat the clothes right off her.
Yeah.
Horrible. What is the answer, Dr. Goff?
Yeah, well,
no, seriously, you're a smart guy. You've been around a long time. What is the answer?
I can't believe black guys would do a thing like that.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm shocked, too, because I never hear of that kind of stuff going on. Gilbert's a racist.
Yes.
Well, it just is very interesting to me how, you can't find a black person to say O.J.'s guilty. There seems to be some unity in the community. Man.
I'll say it. I'm black. O.J.'s guilty.
No, the cops planted everything on him.
Yeah, Mark Furman did it.
It's like a mixture of the cops didn't know anything that they were doing, and they screwed everything up.
And then
they were able to frame him.
Or they're master criminals and framed him.
Yeah, they're ingenious.
Yeah. Either one will work as long as O.J. gets out.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Speaking of O.J., Judge Ito, what was that?
O.J. That's right. Perfect segue.
It was
very clever. Very clever.
So.
Judge Ito came down hard on the defense yesterday for their sloppy legal work.
Yeah.
Here he is dressing down the defense team.
How come every time I tune in, it's boring?
At first, it was so incoherent, I couldn't figure out what was going on.
Now, he's yelling at them because the defense filed some papers that Judge Ito couldn't even figure out what was going on.
Right. He was supposed to take these transcripts and then go to a place on the tape and listen to see what they wanted to admit into court to be heard by the jury, and he couldn't even follow their game plan there. He couldn't match up the tapes and the transcripts.
Right.
And after going through your offer proof, trying to correlate it with the tape and with the transcript, I couldn't do it. I don't think it's my obligation to spend my time going through 12 hours of tapes looking for a particular excerpt.
It certainly isn't.
It certainly isn't, Your Honor.
So he told them this was crap and it wasn't going to work for him and they'd better go refile these papers. He'll allow them to refile the papers today. He said the papers weren't even readable.
Your Honor, you don't understand. We've already gone through O.J.'s $10 million, and we don't really want to spend a lot of time going through any kind of tapes and filing fancy papers.
You want us to listen to the tapes?
Yeah, I don't understand, Your Honor.
We're on our time.
Yeah, we're on our time now. O.J. ran out of money a couple of months ago.
Your Honor, if you think it's a bad idea, we'll try something else.
Any kind of defense that Your Honor wants.
So anyway, they're refiling those papers today. These are those notorious Mark Furman tapes where he's throwing around the nigger word.
It's like Jackie's eye.
Hey, two niggers go to the bar. The kikes. The kikes and niggers.
Two niggers are talking to a guinea.
They say that there was an anonymous caller.
And a kite comes in. Oh. Who's talking to a chicken?
I will not be able to out-talk Gilbert.
Why bother? Listen to him.
I don't want to listen to him.
To a nigger.
He's doing his spick and nigger material now.
And some yids come in.
We got the joke.
Yeah,
okay.
Gilbert, all right, enough, all right?
They got a call from an anonymous phone caller who says that there are more tapes. Simpson apparently talking to another screenwriter.
Furman, yeah.
Mark Furman apparently talked to another screenwriter.
How many movies is Furman working on?
I guess he's working on a number of them.
Will Gilbert and Stuttering John be in them? Together? Will the dream come
another
true?
bombshell was dropped by the prosecution yesterday when Marcia Clark revealed that one tape had been erased.
Uh-oh.
One of the tapes they were submitting, they only have a transcript of it because it had been erased.
Marcia Clark said that she erased the tape?
No. When they got the group of tapes from the screenwriter...
Yeah. One of them had been erased.
There's only a transcript of one.
Oh, you want to know what that means? That's where Furman goes, okay, you know what? I can imitate a racist cop, so I'm going to go do it for you now, so here we go. That's probably that tape.
Oh, yeah.
One is erased. See how convenient.
Well, outside of the courtroom, Johnny Cochran had this to say yesterday about the tape.
This is not any mystery. These tapes exist. You're going to hear these tapes ultimately.
And O.J.'s guilty.
There's our verbatim transcript. Her transcript's done almost immediately thereafter. She's a very honest woman. There is no, she didn't exaggerate. She doesn't exaggerate. She tells the way it was.
This O.J. is the luckiest guy on the planet. I got to tell you something. Not only do I think he's guilty, but here's a guy so lucky. He's been lucky his whole career. Born a football player, great football player, had natural ability. Becomes can't speak English. He's a sportscaster. He's got a big career in movies, endorsements. In fact, I don't think there's been a bigger person in endorsements in terms of acceptability than O.J. Not even Michael Jordan's not even as big. And I got to tell you,
it was long after O.J.'s career, and he was still.
That's what I'm saying.
Getting endorsements.
He's still as in demand as ever. And now he murders these two people, goes on trial, and the one cop who found the glove. There's tapes of him screaming nigger. I tell you, O.J. is the most... I want to be attached to O.J.
O.J. knew all of this beforehand.
O.J.'s a genius.
I know it's the night that Mark Furman is on. He'll be coming. This is the night to do it.
I think O.J. set up Mark Furman. Because Mark Furman's going to end up doing heavy time. O.J. will be out with the white broads. Oh, my God. I tell you something. It's in 2 months, O.J. will be freer than Gilbert. All right?
Because he can drive.
Right. He can drive and get around. Gilbert has to beg someone to drive him. All right.
So anyway, they're continuing with this investigation into the tape. They say that there could be a delay in the trial because the defense is running out of witnesses.
Wow.
So they may have to stop down while they decide which tapes come in or not, and we'll have to see whether that occurs. They are still questioning people on the stand today, however.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, they're still going on about how terrible the LAPD lab is and how they shouldn't be able to find anybody. So, again, we have the dichotomy. They framed him, but they botched everything.
Right.
And therefore, either the results of the test are invalid or they planted O.J.'s blood, whichever way you want to go with it.
Okay.
Dr. Kevorkian.
But they still didn't answer why would they want to frame him.
No.
Yeah. I mean,
you don't need a reason.
Yeah, what would their reason be for framing O.J. Simpson?
The nicest guy in the world, O.J. Simpson. Not like he's some angry guy.
This is the same guy who the cops came to his house a million times and they never reported that, all the domestic violence is going on.
Hit it.
The time that he did go in, they let him run away. I mean, the cops were always nice to O.J.
I wish the cops would be this nice to everybody.
Yeah.
Cops were never nicer to anybody than O.J.
But now they framed him.
Right.
What they have to gain from it. Go ahead.
Okay, you've not finished with this?
No,
Gilbert's very upset. This is the
I'm
first
like
time I've
Larry
seen him like
King. Hello, Detroit. Go ahead.
Dr. Jack Kevorkian has assisted his 25th patient with a suicide. This time, the woman's body was found in the parking lot of a hospital. In a car. Parked car.
Jackie's got dark humor, man.
And the reason they say they did that is because they were tired of that circus atmosphere.